Welcome back to Napier-Looby Bar Association's Black History Month Spotlight Series. Today we have the honor of speaking with Judge Mattielyn Williams, who's the first African American administrative judge here in Tennessee. It's such an honor to have her, and this series was brought about to highlight people who have contributed significantly to Napier-Looby over the years, as well as those who are continuing to contribute to Napier-Looby and carry out its mission. And we can think of no one better than Judge Williams, because she is in essence what the mission of Napier-Looby stands for. So we're just really happy to have you, Judge Williams, here, and we thank you for your time. We thank you for your contributions to Napier-Looby over the years. You're a past president of Napier-Looby, and you're still today a current supporter of Napier-Looby. We know that we can count on you to show up to the events. If you can't make them, you will let us know that you can't make it. So we just want you to know that it does not go unnoticed, and we really do appreciate people who have done the work in the past but continue to do the work and are willing to pour into the people of those of us who are trying to do the work today. So thank you. And so without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. Do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I grew up in the hood in Washington, D.C., but was fortunate enough to go to National Cathedral School for Girls. It's about 75 women in my high school graduating class, and a very significant portion have gone to Yale, Harvard, Princeton, and that's the kind of school it is. I chose Yale. I'm class of 79. I started out as pre-med, but I got involved with the Black Student Alliance, the Third Council of Third World Women, Yale Political Union, all of those groups. So when it came to junior year, I would have had to take an organic chemistry to be pre-med. And I just knew within myself that I was not going to stop all the things I was doing and enjoying to sit down like you have to, basically to memorize all those formulas and what have you to be successfully organic chemistry. So I changed my major. At that point, I was also very active with the chaplain's office at Yale and was head deacon at the Tell Chapel, which is the main church at Yale. You'll see it in a lot of video of the Yale campus. But anyway, I was thinking I would become an ordained minister and then have the law degree to help me in the social action aspect of my ministry. Because it's my understanding that Jesus wants us to love. And if you love, you're going to feed people. You're going to clothe people. You're going to educate people. You're going to make sure people don't get discriminated against based on race, gender, handicapping condition, being gay, what have you. So that, to me, made a lot of sense. So I came on to Vanderbilt. I was very, very fortunate. The law school had not admitted as many minorities at the time. And so I was able to get a fellowship. The way Vanderbilt at that time was the only school, university in the country where you could get a joint program with law and divinity so that you could finish both degrees in 4.5 years rather than taking the 6 years to do 3 of law and 3 of divinity. So it was a perfect opportunity for me. I started in the law part because I had the fellowship. And while I was there, I just realized that I was not absolutely certain that I was called to ordain ministry, so I didn't pursue that. And it just tickles me to this day that I got the law degree, did well, became the first administrative judge of African American descent. And I never for once at any point have said the words, I want to practice law.
Really?
That's right. So it's interesting how things have worked out.
Things have a way of working themselves out, and it seems like your faith is important, and I feel like God has a way of getting us where we need to be.
That's right.
We're supposed to have impact, and you've had numerous impact.
That's right.
So you have a long storied career. So just tell us a little more about the journey. What happened when you got to Vanderbilt and when law school? How did that thing change?
Well, there were very few black folks there. There were people who were mature in years, who were second career people pursuing law. It was really rough. I was not comfortable. None of us were. Things were really, really rough. In fact, awful. But I had stayed active. By living here in Nashville, I've taken advantage of the opportunity to stay active with the law school. And things have changed dramatically. They now have African American students of the Muslim faith who wear their traditional dress, what have you, at Vanderbilt Law School. They used to have one black teacher when I was there, the late Bob Felton. Now they have 3 to 5 each year. It's just, there were 3 of us, I believe, maybe 4 in my class, of like 200 people. Now they've got like 10 and 15, and it is exciting to see the changes that have been made there. So that's why today I have a Vanderbilt flag on my car. They really have changed.
Well, that's something to be said, to be able to see the progress that has been
That's
made.
right.
And to have been a part of that change, because undoubtedly you being there opened up doors for many people coming behind you.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about, we know you went on to become the first African American administrative judge. Did you practice much before you became an administrative judge? And so what type of law did you practice?
Well, I would say education law. I worked for 12 years with the Tennessee Higher Education Commission. But I had 2 foci there. One was scholarships, fellowships for minorities to become classroom teachers. The other was the Eisenhower Math and Science program. Mm-hmm. The other was the state of Tennessee was going through desegregation of colleges and universities. So I was the one in charge of the vast, comparatively speaking, amount of money spent to give scholarships to African American students to go, say, to Austin Peay and some of the other European American oriented institutions. And then also to pay for scholarships for European Americans to go to Tennessee State University and to go to Shelby State Community College, which were overwhelmingly African American. I got to travel around the state to meet students, to meet professors who've gotten the grants that I just mentioned. It opened doors for lots of people to be serving in that capacity. It just so happened that the late Secretary of State Riley Darnell, by virtue of being Secretary of State, was one of the members of the Tennessee Higher Education, actually the commission. So he got a chance to know me. He was an attorney himself. And then the late Speaker pro tempore, Lois D. Berry, knew me as well. And I had worked with her for several years by working with the Black Caucus of state legislators. So when Secretary Darnell had a vacancy, Speaker D. Berry said, sure, interview some folks, but I really would like you to consider Mattielyn. And then the rest is history.
The rest is history.
That's how I got that job. And so some of the things I would say to those of you who have interviewed the state, try to get to know lots of different people, lots of different backgrounds, because you never know who ultimately is going to be that big stepping stone to help you do some marvelous things and have some marvelous opportunities.
And I think that's an important lesson, because I think sometimes we can get caught up in our job, sitting in our office, just doing the work, but we're not getting out socializing, or we're only socializing with the people who we work with.
Right.
But we don't know what tomorrow holds. And as we make genuine connections along the way, we just don't know how that person can be instrumental
That's
in
exactly right.
opening a door or picking up the phone and calling someone on our behalf. So I think that's one of the lessons I've learned in my career in seeing the power of networking, and not just networking for a specific purpose of I want this person to help me out, but just establishing genuine connections.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit about how did you first get involved with Napier-Looby and what has kept you involved over the years?
Well, I don't have any records that old in my possession, but as far as I can remember, as soon as I passed the bar, I became a member, I think, and remain a member. I'm a life member. I can't imagine not being involved with Napier-Looby. As you know, it's an affiliate of the National Bar, and now that Ashley Upton is the National Bar Association president, again, everything has fallen into place. I've now been to a couple of the National Bar conventions, and as you may know, the National Convention is going to be actually here in Nashville.
Yes, we're
next
excited.
summer.
This summer.
But this summer, oh, that's right, it's now February.
Okay.
This summer, thank you. Again, that level of involvement, of course, Napier-Looby is an affiliate of the National Bar, but that level of involvement by me, which is kind of relatively new in my career, has helped me to meet people I never otherwise would have met. The CLE is excellent when they have those conventions. And I'm just so proud to be president, actually from Nashville.
Yes, that's going to be great. We got the president here in Nashville. The convention is coming to Nashville.
That's right.
And it's just, I think it's just so important to be involved with this organization.
That's right.
It has given so much to so many people. I've been in Nashville for years, and I can already see the impact of being in Napier-Looby has had on my career.
Okay,
so I think that's really important.
Yeah.
So you know we're in Black History Month.
That's right.
Black history carries both legacy and responsibility.
Yeah.
How would you say Black history shaped your perspective or your why or the way you've navigated the legal profession and your advocacy?
I would say that when I was president of Napier-Looby, I think in 1995, but you can check the date, there were zero African American attorneys who were working at the European American law firms. So my focus was on getting that door open, not by protesting or something of that kind, but simply by getting people from both groups together, again, networking, getting to know people and realize that everybody is a person. Your race, that's just something visible about you. And so the doors open and they remain open. And what this meant is, rather than being at a very small firm with a very narrow focus, that's not predominantly, just exclusively African American, folks have had the opportunity to work in everything from wills and trusts to building buildings and making corporations out of small businesses, all those things that attorneys are taught to be able to do. And I'm just so thankful to see African Americans and women, but African Americans have those opportunities. So that to me was the most important thing when I was president of Napier-Looby.
Well, we appreciate your vision. I am a direct, beneficiary of your vision because I am at a firm that probably in '95 did not have African American attorneys.
There was zero.
There were none. So thank you for having that vision. So I appreciate that. So along your journey, was there ever a defining moment or lesson or even a mentor that left a lasting impression on you or something that took place that helped shape who you are?
I would say Speaker D. Berry. And in recommending to Ronnie Darnell that I be considered.
Well, I'm sure that was an impactful moment because it changed the trajectory of your career.
Right.
So it's good to know people like that and have people who can open those doors.
That's exactly right.
So thinking about Black History Month.
Yeah.
Is that person, whether it's in the past or even the present, who has deeply influenced you, or is that the same person, the speaker, or is there a person in history that you would like to have dinner with?
Yes, I'd say two people, Thurgood Marshall and Representative John Lewis. Because if I've said it once, I've said it twice. Representative Lewis always talks about getting into good trouble. And if I can't do that every day, I certainly intend to do it every month until they slam that casket shut.
I love that. I love that. I really do. I love that. So you have a long storied career. I don't think there's anybody in Napier-Looby who does not know who Judge Williams is.
Oh, okay.
But that said, what's something about you, even if we're looking at your resume, that people may not know? What's some type of hobbies or interests that you have?
I love to go fishing, not to catch 100-pound fish, but just to see the line moving, because you've got a fish on the other end, and I usually actually holler, fish, fish. And they don't know that. They don't know that I love movies.
Okay.
And I saw a movie actually Monday of either this week or last week. I think it was this week. I'm running like crazy ones. I don't remember, but it was a Monday evening. The movie's called Mercy.
Okay.
It's about a time in the future when the judges are AI robots. And if you are charged with a criminal offense, you have about an hour and a half to convince the robot why you should not be terminated or killed as a person. So the whole show, I don't want to give the whole show away, but that may actually happen someday.
Oh gosh.
Well, see, that's right. It may happen, but in this particular story, though, as the robot gets to know the accused, who was a police officer accused of murdering his wife, and he makes his argument without an attorney in terms of having the AI judge robot look in the file and such and such, such and such and such. And I just say it has a positive outcome. But it's 3D, you got 3D glasses to see it. You will be on the edge of your seat.
Really?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Personally, I think it's the best movie ever made, and I've seen a lot of movies because I love movies. Well, no things that wouldn't be in my resume. But I'm just convinced, hands down, it's the best movie I've ever seen. It moved fast, and it had meaning, and it made me think about the fact that just like now, you get these calls from the robot selling things. I'm sure one day, perhaps in our lifetime, those little AI robots are going to be serving as judges. And people need to be prepared for that.
Yeah, they do need to be prepared. AI is taking over.
That's right.
I hope it's not in the course of my career. But if it is, we'll have to pivot and figure it out.
That's exactly right. So that's why I recommend it to everybody, but especially attorneys.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to check that one out.
Yes, please do. Please.
I will.
You will not be disappointed.
Okay. So I will close it out with one last question.
All right.
As somebody who has paved the way, what does legacy mean to you?
I'm not sure. How would you define it?
Legacy, I think, for me, I would say it's the work that I do now to make it better for the people coming behind me. What is my legacy? I think sometimes we say that you leave a legacy when you have your children. I think that there's more than one way of leaving a legacy. You don't have to have natural children. Legacy could be kind of what you explained about how when you were Napier-Looby's president, one of your visions was to ensure that African Americans had the opportunity to go into these majority firms. And because of that vision, I am a direct beneficiary of this, so maybe I'm a part of your legacy.
Okay.
Or just whatever good that we do in this world to make it better for somebody coming behind us. That's how I would define legacy.
Okay. But then using your definition, I would say I'm single, never married, Available, interested. It's not too late. I'm only 68, not too late. But I hope that it's, like you said, about opening that door as president and the things I've done through the Higher Education Commission. I was never reversed, despite my long number of years as an administrative judge. There were certainly big cases, like when healthcare institutions wanted to expand and then other institutions didn't want them to. And I literally had hearings where there were like 3 attorneys per entity with multiple entities all fighting. It was a really big case, my longest case, my longest order. But what I really enjoyed the most was my tenure cases. As you may know, tenure is the state's Medicaid program. So if a person wanted a particular doctor, wanted a particular surgery, wanted a particular medication, and the issue was medical necessity, that person could certainly present their own view, but they had the opportunity to bring in their physician. And of course, the state had the opportunity to bring in its physicians. And I would hear those cases and make a decision. And it really had direct impact on people's lives. So even though some of my colleagues may have preferred some of the big environmental cases and all of that, my favorite was always the tenure cases, because it was just the impact you could have was so direct. So I hope whoever those people are, who I ultimately said yes to. I mean, there were many I said no, it wasn't medically necessary. But for those that I said yeah, I think they're part of my legacy. I'm a Diamond Life member of the NAACP on the executive committee here in Nashville. And I certainly hope that some of the things the NAACP is still locally a part of my legacy. I'm also involved in NOAA, Nashville Organized for Action and Hope. I'm on the education committee because I feel like if a person is well educated, and not many people are, but okay, if a person can be well educated, or even learn how to read very effectively, you can then go into the library, buy books, get books on tape, books on whatever the latest thing is with Amazon that I've never done. I can't think of the name of it right now.
The Audible?
No. Yeah, the audio, okay. The audio books, and then there's something, the whole thing. Okay,
a Kindle, maybe?
Kindle, yes,
okay.
Thank you. That's the Kindle. You can then take yourself the rest of the way, even if you don't have best in junior high school, what have you. If you can read well with understanding and become a critical reader, don't just believe everything you see written, but think about it. If you can learn to think, you can make it. You can be successful. You can have a family. You can simply be at peace. You can be happy. So I hope that my work with NOAA and on the education task force is part of my legacy. And so I tend to be busy and run like a chicken with a head cut off, the head as well as feet cut off. Because so I am active just in a small way in a large number of things, including in my church, Mercy United Methodist, with its mercy ministries with people who are homeless, what have you. So although I don't have any children, technically, I sure hope that I have made a difference in many corners. And when my time comes, if I'm in that casket, and for some reason it dawns on me that I haven't made a difference, you just watch. I'm going to jump out of that thing and get busy.
Well, I can assure you, you have made a difference. And you said little ways. I think you have made a difference in big ways. In a lot of different areas.
Thank you so much.
Well, Judge, we appreciate you taking time to talk with us. This has been great. I've been enriched just by sitting here talking to you, so I'm sure everybody viewing this will be as well. So
okay, I hope so. I'm so glad to do this. So glad to do it. And so glad to see Napier-Looby doing well. And so glad to see the NBA convention actually coming to Nashville.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, be on the lookout. NBA convention coming to Nashville this summer. So
That's right.
Napier-Looby will be sharing information about that.
That's right.
I'll be there.
I will be too.
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much. This is a marvelous idea to conduct these interviews. It's a marvelous idea.
I'm glad we were able to get them going. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see everything come together.
That's good. That's good. Well, I sure appreciate your leadership. And it's good. I'm kind of with that group with everybody from Monty Watkins and all that group, but to see presidents who I don't know well, that's how it ought to be. It shouldn't be just the same people year after year.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad to see you at a tender age, really.
Thank you.
Serving as our president.
Thank you.
So,
I'm honored to serve.
so
Thank you.
it is an honor to serve.
So.